Hey, racing fans, Scott Shapiro along with Mike Beer, who to preview the Wednesday race of the day. It's at Keeneland, mile and a half on the grass there, part of many horizontals, including their all turf pick three and late pick four, late pick five. Second level allowance, just a field of seven. As we take a look at that field, Mike, and yeah, I think it's fair to say the race goes through number five, Era Stark, who had a really good effort going this long ish at Colonial two back, and you look around the field and probably comes in the best form of her career. But I don't know how short of a price I'd be willing to take.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I guess you could just start off by looking at it and see her three turf starts over here, 80, 81, 82. And if you're a figure guy, they're going to make her competitive in here. I didn't think she was a standout, Scott. We'll see if she gets the mile and a half. It's a big question for everybody in here, but it's certainly a question for her, and she'll be a shorter price than most.
Right. And when you're short prices, it's when you want to ask the most questions. As we take a look at the pace projector, and I think this might speak to how the race plays out with the horse we just talked about, Aerostar sitting in third. Mike, to me, not a ton of speed in this race, and I think it makes sense that the inside horses who have some tactical speed would utilize it.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, the distance, again, it's going to be a major question here. This race to me is really more about the distance than it is about anything else. So we'll just see who gets it. I didn't expect them to be going a fast pace in here. I'll be honest. I can't say that I handicapped this race, Scott, and said, oh, yeah, the one will be on the early lead. But maybe she will be. She'll be a big price.
Yeah, interesting. We'll talk about that one in a moment. But just remember, as always, this is the race of the day, and you can get free past performances for the race of the day, as always. So just click on the race of the day link, it takes you there, and you will be all set. As we start with the field, and we start with the number one, Statement Made, Mike. And this is a trainer I like betting. And if you bet him, Justin Wazinski, not familiar to many, but last 2 years, 258 ROI with 148 start sample size. All that said, this is a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, the good thing about this horse is the trainer. It's harder to find nice things to say about the horse. Listen, maybe the pace projector's right, and maybe this horse will really like getting out to a mile and a half. I don't see how you could bet the race that way. This race was 89-1 last time. Over or under in this race, Scott?
I will go with under because
Gotta
of
be
the
under.
size of the
I agree.
field, obviously. But whether she has that much of a chance to win, we'll see. But the horse next to her certainly should take a good deal of money. And number two, Kiss Blue, daughter of Air Force Blue, that returns to the races for Riley Mott after saving no ground last time out in late August at Kentucky Downs. Never raced over the Keeneland side. Both of her wins have come over the all weather. And she stretches out. Well, actually, no, she went to the mile and a 5:16. So more the turf is the question than the distance, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess that last race suggests that, the improvement, sort of earlier this year wasn't due to the surface. Maybe it was just due to her getting better. And so I think that's the one real question that I still have, because the improvement on turf anyway did come at Kentucky Downs, and those races are just really unreliable for me as far as form is concerned. Obviously, her prior turf races do not make her a contender in here, but that one does. And her prior form on synthetic, that also makes her a contender in here. And she's run well going a mile and a quarter. So there's plenty to like about this horse.
Yeah, and her trip might be the best of them all, which should benefit as well. As we move to a horse that's more difficult to get excited about, the number three, Vino's Angel, a daughter of Rosso, that is 0 for 5 on the turf, never hit the board. A lot of success over the all weather. Tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong. This horse, to me, may be prepping to get to Florence for Turfway.
Yeah, that could certainly be the case for her, but way better, at least to this point of her career, on the all weather. I mean, I'll give her maybe a little bit of credit for having, held her form anyway since the claim. I couldn't see her beating this field.
Right, at barn 2 for 41 at Keeneland over the last 5 years, so holding form matters. Number 4 is Poppy the Princess, and this is another barn, low profile, but does a pretty good job, mostly in Kentucky. And this is a filly that's a 3-year-old taking on some olders, but she has already. She's coming off a layoff. Her two best recent efforts are over the off track. As we take a look back at a race last year over the Keeneland turf where she ran a good second. I have more questions about the distance probably than anything. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. She's one of those horses who you don't know if she really wants to go this far. I think overall her turf form is okay. I know that her 2 wins are on or on the dirt in races that are rained off to the main track. But I think her turf form is fine overall. When I watch her run, Scott, I feel like maybe the best thing about her is she's got that kind of running style where it feels like maybe she will get this far. She just sort of got that one-paced running style where she stays and stays and stays. She's not fast. I'm not sure that she's actually that good either, but maybe the distance will be a major factor. Maybe she'll get this far better than anybody else will.
Good point. Not pedigree does not always play the biggest role in these long races. As we head to a mare that does have more pedigree for going longer, and she ran a good race at Colonial two back. Prior to that, came in at a big price at Colonial after a very poor effort at Churchill. And this is Nacho Correas. Should be one of his last horses that he'll be training as he's retiring after this year. But we talked about her at the beginning. I don't think it's a matter of whether she has a chance, but what's the price that we're willing to accept.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially when you watch her, I think her turf races are fine. I'm not blown away by them, Scott. And I didn't feel like, even though, she has a slight figure edge on most of these horses in here, just didn't look at her as a standout for a horse you're going to be asked to take a short price on. I know that she won pretty easily 2 starts back. There was just nothing going on in that race. I think it was a pretty weak field. She got a great trip in that race, and it just felt like nobody was running behind her once she took over in there. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to be surprised when she wins, but if I bet this race, I'm betting somebody else.
Understandable, as we go to one of the options that people can take a look at, and that is the number 6 Royal Sweet. Not only is she coming in off 1 win, but 2 wins going long, both of them at Colonial. Now, no doubt stepping up in class here for trainer Kenny McPeak, who hasn't had a strong start to the Keeneland meet, but he's got the right guy in the saddle in Irad Ortiz Jr. Do you give her a shot to make it 3 in a row?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we'll see. She's a 3-year-old. She's going to face some older horses here. But to me, the longer I looked at this race, the more I thought being a lightly raced 3-year-old could actually be an advantage in here, because everybody else, you kind of know what you're going to get. I feel like we haven't seen Royal Sweet's best race yet. I like both of her last 2 wins, Scott. They just sort of settled her last, but she was never outrun in those races. She always traveled. She came to the outside. She went right by those horses in the stretch. I'm not, totally convinced she'll get this far, but if she can get the 1.5 miles, I think she'll be tough in here.
Totally makes sense. A filly that has raced more often than Royal Sweet, a little more exposed, and it's the number 7 Cozy Rag. She's been around for a bit. I know her, I think from the all-weather days, maybe the year before last in Turfway. She's only raced once since Florence in Kentucky at Turfway, and it was in the Ellis Park Turf, one of the turf stakes there on August 24th at Ellis. This is a filly that has absolutely no speed, but she gets back to more distance. Is that going to give her any chance?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's probably not, but this isn't the kind of race where I'd be, going too hard after knocking horses that could be good prices. Maybe she'll be a good price. She's got that one, the 1.5 miles race, the grade 3 there, where she earned the 85 buyer, but that was just sort of one of those sucked up performances against horses that are way better than she was. It's not like she did a ton of running in there. Her other races, I feel like, make her sort of hard to get to.
Yeah, her most recent win is over the off track, albeit at 1.25 miles in late September at Churchill Downs. As we move to selections here, and interested to see who you like, although I have a guess on who you might like based on what we said, but we didn't talk about it beforehand. But who'd you land on?
Yeah, I'm going to take Royal Sweet, that lightly raced 3-year-old, and just hope she can take one more step forward here for McPeak. I get that the 5 is probably the horse to beat here, but again, I'm not afraid to bet against a horse like her at a short price.
I thought it was worth taking a chance with either the 6 or the 2 Kiss Blue. I opted to maybe take the filly that's going to get the jump on them with Kiss Blue, but I definitely think Royal Sweet has more upside here, as that rounds us out for race 6, the race of the day at Keeneland. Remember, free pass performance is available at DRF.com. Best of luck.